All right, we are back here on SportsLine. Casey Alexander, Brian Collins with us tonight, talking some college basketball and some other topics as well. You guys know each other really well. You coached Penny when he was a player at Belmont. Now you coach against each other. As he said last year when you were at Lipscomb, he'd call you up and maybe even get advice here and there at some points. And I imagine that'll probably still happen, even though now you're back in the conference at Belmont. Tell me the first time you met Penny.
Ooh. My first real memory is of him wearing number 10 for the Whites Creek Cobras.
12, but
12.
10, 12. Yeah, sound the same.
Should have been 10.
10 in Belmont.
You know, he was about 6'1" or 2" and about 112 pounds.
He's still only about 120.
But he had some game. His recruiting story is one of my favorites, and it's too long to tell on this show right here. But it was a lot of back and forth between Belmont and TSU, and then he ended up at Belmont, and now he's at TSU, and I'm at Belmont, and so it's interesting how it all weaves together.
Penny, what do you remember about being a player at Belmont with Casey on the staff and playing obviously for the legendary Rick Byrd?
Oh, I can tell you this right now. I did not like Casey. He used to get on my nerves every day, hounding me. I couldn't do a drill right. No, I love my experience at Belmont, but Casey was our position coach, so I spent a lot of time with him, and in his office, and he recruited me. So it's just a really special feeling knowing I was a part of, kind of the beginning stages of Belmont turning their corner, and to see the program where it is now, it makes me feel good.
Both of you obviously played under Rick Byrd. Both were guards, kind of floor leaders as you played. Did you know you wanted to be a coach at that point?
I sure did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason I was there. I mean, I love playing and played on some good teams, but the only reason that I kept playing in college was because I knew I wanted to coach, and weren't many better places to do it than at Belmont for Coach Byrd, and so I've been pretty fortunate ever since. One of the best decisions I've made, for sure.
Yeah, I think I made a decision around my senior year. I wanted to play professionally, but I knew whenever I got done playing professional basketball that I wanted to get into coaching. I was just blessed enough to get an opportunity right away to get into it.
You guys, again, both around Coach Byrd, who just retired last spring after an incredible year and an incredible 33 seasons at Belmont. I know this is going to be hard to pick one thing, but if you had to credit Rick Byrd for one thing for why you are where you are right now, not the studio, but where you are in your career, what would it be?
Easy for me, just no compromise in him. I played in the early 90s at Belmont. He played in the early 2000s, 10 years or so later, and now we're 10 years beyond that. And the way he went about doing things and what he believed in and how he did it literally never changed. The players got a lot better along the way, but the program is the same. And for any of us who've been around it for any length of time, I know that's what he's the most proud of, and I feel the same way.
I just think it's really cool that no matter what basketball avenue or basketball group of people I'm around, whenever I mention Belmont or Rick Byrd, it's instant credibility. And one of the things that I take away from him is just about being a good person and having high character. And when you got better people around you and good high-level character people, it could take you a long way.
All right, Penny, so he talked about seeing you the first time when he was recruiting you. Give me a story on Casey Alexander.
I kind of told a little bit earlier. Anytime we would go travel out of town to a road trip, Casey would always have the keys early, and he would go into the hotel rooms and just kind of hide in the closet. And so we would walk in as players, just chilling. We'd be on our phones, and then Casey would just hop out and scare us every time. and that was one of his things he used to always do.
Did you still do that?
I do, if any chance I get. Yeah, take great satisfaction.
These kids don't even know you yet. You're in Portugal and you're just hopping out of hotel room closets.
Just, if it makes me feel good, it's worth it. So, you should ask Penny about his. About our trip to Air Force. The year following, we played Air Force at home. They were ranked that season. It was a great team. Chris Mooney, we were up 15-13 at halftime. It was a heck of a game. But the year prior to
was that the lowest scoring half in Belmont basketball history?
So bad. It was so bad. The year prior to that, they handed it to us pretty good. And it seems like you had a story from that game.
Yeah, so we played Air Force, and I was we had film right afterwards, right? So Coach
Which is
Bird,
an abnormal. Yeah, it was a
we got blown
emergency
out.
film session.
Yeah, we got blown out. So Coach Bird was mad. He said, "Go take a shower and come right to my room right away." So I'm like, "All right, cool." I take a shower, and I just happened to be late. You know, I was the last person to show up. So I walk into the film session, and Coach, first of all, I got ripped like I never been ripped before, ever in my life. Like he ripped me so bad, the seniors came up to me and like apologized for Coach Bird. Coach Bird doesn't curse, he doesn't do nothing. He just finds the right words just to sting you just a little bit.
He makes you feel it.
So anyways, I walk into the film session late and Coach Bird says, "Well, that's par for the course." And I was just like, you know, I was like, okay. And then I talked to the players afterwards. I was like, I don't even know what that means. What does par for the course mean? So I found out later on what it meant, and that was just another jab.
Pretty good. He got it pretty good.
That was a memorable moment. I actually do not like Boulder Springs. Is that where it is? Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
I don't like Colorado Springs to this day because of that trip.
Try and stay away. Don't schedule Air Force anytime soon at TSU. All right, we got about a minute left in this segment, so we'll have to keep this a little bit brief. But expectations for both of your teams this year. I know that's something no coach wants to talk about on September 2nd, but I'm going to make you do it.
It's a little early for sure. You know, I think we've got a nice recent history of playing for championships, and so I'll certainly be disappointed if we're not in the fight. I don't know if we'll be good enough to win either the regular season or the postseason conference tournament, but if we're not playing for it, then it'll be a letdown. That's
always the goal at Belmont for sure. Penny, TSU, getting closer to getting back to that level?
Yeah, I mean, that's our expectation every year, even last year, in a year that we didn't even get into the OVC tournament. Our goal was to compete for a championship, and you know, we want to play meaningful games in March.
All right, Brian Payne-Collins, Casey Alexander. We'll take one final break, say goodbye to them when we come back.